So today's video is all about pronouns and misgendering and my opinion on it, basically. And the reason I'm doing this video is because lately I've noticed sort of a trend with the trans people that I follow, and just seeing the trans people are getting violently over emotional when people misgender them or misuse their pronouns. Now, as a trans person, I can understand why I definitely understand why you get upset, okay? But my view on this matter is this. Most people who make this mistake, who make the mistake in your gender or in, ignorance, is because of exactly that, ignorance. And ignorance generally is bred by lack of education. So the only way that we can stamp out that ignorance is to educate. So this is where my problem comes in. It seems like a lot of people are feeling the best way to educate somebody is to lose your shit, yell, scream, kick, throw your tummy out the pram, and have a public meltdown on Twitter. Now, whilst you are 100% entitled to do that, I just feel like that further stigmatizes this stereotype out there of trans people, and I just feel like it doesn't help anything. And I feel like the best way to educate someone, okay, for example, it still happens to me, people will put on my Twitter, they will say her or she or whatever, and the only comment that I will put back, it doesn't matter how long their tweet was, I won't reply to it. All I will put back is he/him, and that's it. And so far in a year, I would say 96 to 97% of people have immediately apologized and corrected the way they were talking to me. Now, I understand that obviously there is going to be a certain amount of people, now I have come across this, where they have gone, no, please, your chromosome is blah, blah, blah. Those are people that you deal with them like this. So they're ignorant, so you be ignorant, okay? So words only have power if you give them power. So if someone uses those words and they get at you, and obviously your feelings are hurt, but what they want is to hurt your feelings. So you're giving them power by getting hurt, by throwing a fit on Twitter or whatever. So don't do it. It's one thing to be hurt about it, most definitely, but words only have power if you give them power. So, ignore that person as much as they've been ignorant to you, because that person is uneducated and ignorant by choice. And you know what ignorant by choice is? It's stupid. That's what it is. It's stupid. So they're choosing to be stupid. So what? They're choosing to be stupid. That's their choice, and you can't take that away from them any more than they can take away your choice to be a boy or a girl. So all of this that pushed me towards making this video was because I noticed a trans person that I was following put up a tweet about they were really, really upset because someone called them dude a few times. Now, I then replied to this tweet and basically said, where I come from, which is England, you can't really tell from my accent because I sound slightly American. That's because I live in a house with an Afrikaans person. So the two languages mixed apparently make American. But anyway, where I live, dude means mate, pal, friend, whatever. It doesn't mean boy or girl, really. I call all of my friends dude, whether they are a boy or a girl or whatever. Especially stoner culture. So stoners, skaters, stuff like that in England. I don't know about in America, I can't comment for there. But dude is quite a largely known term of how they will refer to each other. Now, I am very aware that it all depends on context. So For example, if someone was to say, that dude over there, and they're pointing to a guy, then they're saying, that guy over there. But if someone was to say, hey, dude, should we go get some pizza? It's just, hey, friend, should we go get some pizza? But, like, I did a poll because I was genuinely interested to know if I had gotten this wrong. And I asked, oh God, it's backwards. It's back. I can't get my camera to focus. Will it focus? You can all be backwards, right? Oh, my camera won't focus. Okay, but basically I said, what does the word dude mean where you live? And then I asked people to comment where they live and what it means there. So 21% of people said guy or boy. 76% of people said friend, mate, pal, etc. Now, I was informed tonight that dude in America often means to put a trans girl down. And I put that in there, is it a slur against a trans girl? And 3% of people said yes. Now, this is based on 80 votes. I mean, I didn't do the poll that long ago, so, you know, tomorrow there'll be more votes. But, you know, 76% of people are saying that it means friend, mate, pal. Because I didn't want to be wrong, you know? Because this person then subtweeted basically saying that I had invalidated their feelings. Now, I can't be sure that they meant me, but they subtweeted right after I comment and, you know, ignored all of my comments, even when I apologized if I had upset them. And all I'd said was, that's not what it means here. It means something else. Now, they subtweeted saying that I had invalidated their feelings by saying that it means something different here. So, to me, that really hurt my feelings, because for you to think I'm invalidating your feelings just because I'm pointing out the fact that it doesn't mean the same thing here, it's kind of like, okay, but why? You know, I don't understand how I invalidated your feelings. If by chance this person watches this video, then I'm very, very sorry. I profusely apologize if I hurted your feelings by saying that dude means something different here. That was not my intention. My intention was simply to say that in England it doesn't have a gender, really. It just means mate or pal. You know, I meant it in a sort of light-hearted way, as to say, you know, maybe that person didn't realize that, you know, they were upsetting you. So, you know, like I say, coming back to my original point, unless you're going to sit there and you're going to take the time to sit there and say, okay, person, I need you to understand that you're hurting my feelings right now. Okay, don't get upset, don't get angry, just say, you're hurting my feelings right now. It's not your fault, you clearly don't understand, but when you're calling me dude, I feel like you're referring to me as a boy. Now, if that person sits there and says, oh fuck, shit, I am so sorry, I did not mean to do that, you're gonna feel better, they're gonna feel better, okay? Because I feel like 9 times out of 10, that is what they're gonna do. Now, if that person then sits there and says, well, sorry, I don't really give a shit, then you can just stand up and say, well, sorry, I don't really give a shit, and walk away from the conversation. Don't give them that power over you in the sense of they've upset you, so you show how upset you are, and you go and you stew over it, you know? There's no point stewing over it. You're completely entitled to do that. I just feel like it's very counterproductive to your own mental health. Because like I keep saying, and I keep saying this to so many of my friends, so many people are ignorant because they are uneducated. And it's up to us how we deal with educating people. So we can make the choice to get really upset, and we can make the choice to, you know, let it affect us in massive ways and lose our shit on social media, or, you know, or whatever. I mean, we've all done it once in a while. You know, I still do it. you know. Usually it is over, you know, daddy, you know, he'll have done something that's upset me and I'll just be like, I fucking hate him, you know, and I'll just lose my shit. But that is because he is the only person I give power to hurt me. I don't give that power to anyone else ever. Someone misgenders me or uses the wrong pronouns, I'm just going to correct them. If they don't apologize, I will just not speak to them again. So that is how I have chosen to deal with it. And I feel like it is the better way to deal with it, because otherwise it's just creating a toxic environment, both for the person that you're trying to educate. So, I mean, if you look at it from their point of view, so say you are a person who comments on someone's photo and you misgender them, and then they comment back with a massive, oh my god, how dare you friggin', you know, you just misgendered me and you've hurt my feelings so much and blah blah blah, and you lose your shit at that person. That person is then going to sit there and go, well, fuck you, you know. They're not going to sit there and say, wow, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that, because you wouldn't. Okay, so just like, I don't know, for example, when you started out on your trans journey, if you're a trans person watching this, just like when I started out on my trans journey, I didn't know all the terminology. Okay, I didn't know what the friggin' frack a TERF was until about 3 weeks ago. And, you know, I didn't even know there was so many genders. You know, there is agender, non-binary, gender fluid, whether you choose to be trans, you know, there is so friggin' many. NB, AFAB, there is just a myriad. And every day, I'm learning new things, okay? And just like anyone else, you were all ignorant at one point or another, and the only way you learned was by education. So either you looked it up yourself or someone else educated you. Now think to yourself, did that person yell and scream at you and lose their shit, or did they just say it? And that's the way you've got to think of it, I think. You know, you need to think to yourself, treat people how I want to be treated. And if they react in a negative way and they sit there and say, oh, well, I don't give a fuck, then you sit there and say, well, I don't give a fuck. You know, because you have the power over yourself and over your mind as to how you take something from somebody else. Now, this is something I think I've learned because I have so little control over my mind and my body as far as illness, mentally and physically goes. So I have learned to control the few things that I can control, which is how other people affect me and how I think. I have gone through so many educations this year. Now, this is something I'm going to do a video about later, about one of the things biggest to me that has changed for me this year. Now, I shamedly, and I do say shamedly, was of the belief that a white person could experience racism, because when you are taught in school, they don't teach you what racism really is. And, you know, the internet is full of misinformation. And I came across this really beautiful article from a person of colour who explained it so beautifully. And they, in that article, told me to go and watch a series. Well, not me specifically, but anyone reading the article, to go and watch a TV series called Dear White People. And oh my god, it literally just changed things, the way I look at it, forever. And I consider myself now re-educated. I was ignorant and prejudiced. Ignorant, prejudiced, and privileged for the way I thought, because of miseducation and misinformation. I literally was not educated correctly to know what racism really meant. And so, just in that, the only way we can deal with people not using our pronouns correctly, or misgendering us, or, you know, all of the other things and challenges that we have to face on a daily basis as far as a trans person goes, is by educating them, and by educating them in the right way, and by educating them calmly, and allowing them to relate to us in the best way we know how, in the same way we relate to each other. And in doing that, I have educated so many of my friends in real life and online. I have had people send me emails, DMs, saying to me how much they now know because of what I have said, and how they appreciated how I have said it. Now, that is not me being vain or bigging myself up or whatever. I am an asshole a lot of the time. I will admit that. Ask my daddy, he will tell you how much of an asshole I am. But it means a lot to me to know that I am educating people and I am doing it the right way. So, yeah. I don't want to make a whole song and dance out of this thing, because I feel like I've said everything that I can possibly say on the matter. How you choose as a trans person to deal with it is up to you. I am not saying all of this to invalidate your feelings or to make you feel badly. You are fully entitled to be hurt when someone misgenders you. If you think for a second that I do not feel hurt when someone misgenders me, I do. But I don't lose my shit over it. And I don't do that for them. I do it for me. I do it for my own mental health. I choose to educate in a calm manner for myself. Because if I choose to let people get in here and to let them hurt me and to not educate them properly, I'm choosing to be ignorant too. And I don't want that. So I feel like maybe take a different approach and see how you get from it. See what you get from it personally, as well as what you get back. You want to carry on doing things the way you do them, that's cool, that's fine, that's totally your right, you know. I have to this day never commented on someone's post when they've lost their shit about gender, because, as I say, you are entitled to do it. This is just me giving my opinion on how I mentally deal with people miscorrectly gendering me. So, in that, you know, we're all ignorant at some point or another, whether it's about the right ingredients to make a fucking souffle, or how to correctly gender someone, or, you know, sexism or racism or anything. It's just like anything. You got to be educated. And the only way to educate is to learn. And the only way someone's going to respond the right way to learning is by approaching it in a positive and calm manner. If you're at school and you don't know something, and I imagine there was several times, because this happened to me where I didn't know anything and my teacher yelled at me and embarrassed me in front of the whole motherfucking class, and I just sat there and I refused to learn anything from that teacher ever again. I skipped all of his lessons to the end of the year until I got a new teacher. I got in so much trouble for it. I got suspended for it until I went to the head teacher and I said, this is what happened. And they sat there and they said, okay, fair enough. That's not how you deal with it. And that isn't how you would deal with it. So don't, you know, think about how you would want to be approached. That's, you know, that's all I really can say about it. But yeah. Thank you for listening to my rant / I don't know what this was. I think I just needed to get it off my chest. I think I just needed to say it. So, yeah. I'm going to put a trigger warning on this video because I think it's going to piss some people off. And I'm prepared for that. But I hope more than that, you know, like, it helps people to look at things in a different way. Just like every single trans person, non-trans person, beg my pardon, that is watching this, think before you type or say. Okay, if you don't know how to gender someone, now I'm going to do a different video on this because it needs a whole fucking topic, but I will just say quickly, if you do not know how someone's gender or someone's pronoun because it isn't in their bio, most times it is, by the way, so ask. Okay, now I will say some trans people are going to shit at you for that too, and I'm sorry about that. I've seen it happen. Some people, trans people, for some reason, they find that insulting. I don't understand why it's insulting, and I'm really sorry if that hurts some people's feelings, but maybe that's my ignorance on the matter there. I don't personally feel insulted when someone says to me, how should I refer to your gender? That doesn't insult me. That means you're being respectful to me. So, yeah, for me to say, in my opinion, that is how a non-trans person should approach somebody who, when you don't know their gender. Just ask. Be polite, be respectful. Check their bio first. If it's in person, just sit there and just say, look, I don't want to hurt your feelings and I don't mean to misgender you. I don't want to hurt you. So could you please tell me how you would like me to refer to you? That's it. And I can tell you 9 times out of 10, that person will sit there and say, well, fuck damn. Thank you so much for asking, you know? Because that is the difference between being ignorant and taking it upon yourself to re-educate yourself. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Comments are good. Comment, even if you hate me for this video, comment anyway. You know, I like to be put right. You know, if you can tell me why you get upset if someone asks you what they should refer to you as far as your pronouns and your gender go, tell me why, okay? I want to be educated too. So educate me, you know? If you're pissed at me for anything I've said in here, tell me, DM me, tweet me, whatever. I can take it. You know? We don't learn unless we get conscripted. What is with my tongue today? Oh my god, I feel like I've stuck it in a million guys' butts or something. Just tell me. I don't know unless you tell me. So, thank you so much for watching. I love y'all. Keep coming back. Hopefully, you're not annoyed by me or irritated by me. I'm annoyed and irritated by me.